Hi all. Right, this next video that I'm putting out is really something completely off topic from what I normally do. The reason for that is I've been fortunate enough to get to know somebody who was an ex-miner, and he worked locally to where I live now. And he always says to me, I haven't got any stories to tell you. I ain't got any stories to tell you. And he has got a lot of stories to tell a lot of people. So what I'm trying to do is trying to film a few of these while he's speaking about them. Some of the people who watch this might know him. His name's Gerald, or Jed, and he's an ex-miner from where he started was at Brookhouse pit, which is just up the road, and he did a stint at Kiverton. He came down from Durham a long time ago in the 50s, and started at Brookhouse pit in 59/60, I think he said to me. And I've managed to get a little snippet story out of him from his first day of coal mining. Now it's something that is kind of long gone in this country, and I'm sure there's a lot of miners out there that could tell a few stories about coal mining. I know Jed certainly can tell a few stories of what it was like to work at the coal face, as they called it. So I kind of had a bit of a chat with him before we had dinner one Saturday in fact, and got one of his little snippet stories out of him, which I personally find old stories like that from ex-railwaymen and coal miners and people who worked in industry back I call them the good old days of steam, or the good old days of British industry. I like all that type of thing, obviously. So when I get a story out of him of how it was, because I wasn't fortunate enough to see any of this going on, and from the stories he's told me, I'm glad I wasn't around, because it sounded like proper hard work, proper manual labour. It made men were men, as it were. So a little story from him. It's very short but sweet. I'm hoping to get more for everyone to enjoy. Unfortunately, he's gone blind. Not fully blind. He's very partially sighted. He can only very see a very little now. And recently we took him up to the Durham Miners Gala. He was an ex-Durham man himself, so as a lot of people would know, up there was a lot of coal mines, a lot of industry. So getting a little snippet story out of him has been really good. As I say, I'm hoping to get more, and kind of share them to the world, as it were, because I hate to say this, but once he's gone and all these old industry men have gone, their stories go with them. And they, no doubt, well, Jed couldn't write them down now because obviously he can't see the paper to write on. So this is the only way I can see to get these stories out of him and out into the world. I couldn't write a book about it myself because I came out of school with no qualifications, so it wouldn't make any sense what I was writing. I know what to write, but I wouldn't know how to word it correctly, or even the punctuation and everything like that. So I'm not going to bother. I'm going to do it via this, and we'll get it onto YouTube, and share it if you want to, or don't. Give it a thumbs up and a like and whatnot. I hope people find it interesting as much as I do. The younger generation, they know one thing, and that's technology. They don't know the actual struggles that men went through to put food on the table, for their kids and for their wives and whatnot. The one thing that I do know about Jed is he was at the forefront when the 1984 miners' strike happened over at Orgreave, which is only up the road. unfortunately, they want to wipe Orgreave from existence, because to say it didn't exist and everything like that, and they've built a new housing estate on there, and they've called it Waverley. But the site that them houses are on was the Orgreave coking plant and mine and everything like that. So, and where the infamous strike was, you know. So Jed knows a lot about that, and I'm hoping now I can get that story out of him, of what went on, you know, because that would certainly, it would hit home for a lot of people, because he would be telling the truth from the miners' side of things, not from what the BBC have told us. I remember watching the miners' strike on the news, you know, and the BBC, sadly, you weren't telling the truth, and the police weren't telling the truth. But these guys, the miners that are still around, they'll certainly be able to tell you. So I'm very, very fortunate to know this man. I hope you find it informative. And if you've got any comments, you know, feel free to comment on it, or a question, I'll certainly ask him, and we can maybe get a few more snippet stories out of him. So thanks for watching. Click subscribe and all that type of thing if you want to catch more of these. Put the little notification bell on, and then when I upload the next one, you'll obviously get a notification that one has gone up. And yeah, we can listen to his stories from back in the good old days. Thanks for watching. See you soon. What year was this?
59.
59.
No, 60. So it's 1960. And we all went down, and you had to go, get off a chair, that's what they call it, a chair.
Yeah.
And walk through to it like a deployment place. They used to tell you where you were going. And Johnny got down to the bottom of the shaft, he got out of the chair, he walked straight round to the side and got back on again. Not for me, he says. Not for me. And he went home, believe it or not. He was singing, he was a singer. You know, he sang a song about us, Jed and Scotty, you know, when we went that bit together.
Yeah.
But he went straight back up again. He went home, he got his haversack, his guitar, and he were off. And he went either Sweden or Switzerland, you know, all up that. He had a #1 record up there.
Yeah?
And he did
Yeah.
He's just had a stroke though. I don't know how he's going on.
Suppose it's not for everybody, was it, coal mining?
Oh, no. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted Sean to go down, put it that way.
No.
Yeah.
So what shut Brookhouse then?
Margaret Thatcher.
That was it?
Yeah.
Want to run out of coal then?
No. No.
Sat on a gold mine.
Well, I mean, you work it out. They spent millions opening Selby coalfield up. And there seems a coal, you're talking some, there weren't one under 6 foot thick.
In heck.
And they were above that, so on. And it wasn't, I don't think it was up in 10 years. And they just shut it like that because of the economics.
Bonkers.
They reckon they've got about 200 years of coal underneath, still underneath there.
Could well believe it.
I mean, that one where we went to see them, they reckon, I mean, I don't know because I never worked with them, I'm trying to talk about them who worked with them. They reckon they went 12 mile out from the North Sea.
It's a long way, isn't it?
It is.
12 miles.
I mean, it makes you wonder when you grow like that truck top on you, if one breaks in, oh, dear me.
Yeah, it's,
Game over.
yeah, you're going to get flushed out or drowned straight away, aren't you?
Oh,